Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Professor Gerhardt, pleased to have you with us today. In your testimony, you referenced Alexander Hamilton's warning about the dangers of trivializing impeachment through petty partisanship. Let me ask you, Mr. Gerhardt, do you think that initiating an impeachment inquiry against President Biden without any evidence of wrongdoing by the president meets any basic standard of proof?
Not credible proof at all, in my opinion. And in fact, I think one thing to keep in mind about a hearing like this or any kind of anything that calls itself an impeachment inquiry is the critical importance of building public trust. And that gets built in part on the basis of credible evidence.
Well, Professor Gerhardt, what is the risk to our Constitution and even for the rule of law if impeachments are initiated without any evidence of wrongdoing by a president?
They trivialize impeachment, they trivialize the Constitution, and they ride roughshod over the rule of law. Nothing good comes from abusing a power, whether it's done by a president or by Congress.
Professor Gerhardt, do you believe that initiating an impeachment inquiry without any evidence of wrongdoing by a president is consistent with the view that impeachment is a grave and solemn duty?
Impeachment is a grave and solemn duty, all the more reason why all evidence, for example, relating to Burisma, ought to be heard and considered. That would actually add credibility to what the committee is doing.
I would be remiss if I did not add that it is incredible that we are holding this sham hearing 2 days before the government will shut down. Instead of this hearing, we could be discussing how to fund the government, or we could discuss my bill to exempt from federal government shutdowns the federal and independent agencies that are exclusively or primarily federally funded but have jurisdiction over local D.C. civil and criminal justice matters. Or we could be discussing how we are going to provide back pay to federal contract workers if Republicans unfortunately do push us into a shutdown. Instead, we are holding this sham hearing. I yield the remainder of my time to Mr. Raskin.